Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live with a debate show, and not any ordinary debate show, because there's a lot to discuss, a lot of dissecting today. And you know what? On this channel, I like to pride myself on, you know what, calling it out. You know, giving the truth, speaking the truth. You know what I mean? Not holding back, not sitting on the fence. And you know what? We're going to talk about everything that we've seen from Ten Hag's interview. We got to talk on Bruno Fernandes. We got to talk about Olise. We got to talk about Sancho, Tuchel, De Zerbi. Listen, there's a lot to go on today, man. Well, big up the brothers first of all. We got Ash in the building. Ash, you're good?
Yeah, all good, mate. Was down Newton East today, going to the old Bank Street Stadium, the very first stadium that Manchester United ever played in. Seeing the cycling and all that, went for a nice walk and that, you know, trying to enjoy myself, get my mind off Ten Hag and all that. But you know, some reason that guy's just he's sticking around, isn't he? We're stuck with him now apparently for another season, and I don't know what fans are saying, but pleasure to be as always. Pleasure to be chatting to the boys and the chat themselves, and yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, man. Someone just called you there, Ali G, man. That might be the only laughter tonight, man. What are you saying, Double A?
I was gonna say big up the chat, but Ramo can go fuck himself now. To be honest with you, no need for that. You know what I mean?
I do rag Double A, man. Shit serious, man. Mixtape out, Ten Hag out. You know the ones there.
Do rag Double A's out. Do you know what I mean? But big up, obviously all the boys. Big up the best chat on YouTube. A kid. I mean, another day being United fan, innit, mate? Do you know what I mean? But lots to talk about, so it's never a dull moment, never a full show. Yep. Everyone, make sure you're showing Saeed love. I was gonna say Ten Hag love, but let's not show Ten Hag love. Yeah. Let's show Saeed some love, though. Obviously, roll to 100K soon.
Big up, man. Stuffy from New York, man. Listen, the Americans bailed you out today, man. But listen, big up to you, man. Standing firm. What are you telling me?
Well, do you blame them? Listen, I'm locked in on playoff. Listen, I'm locked in on playoff season. Saeed gave me the call. You know, he's the only one that I forgot to mute him on WhatsApp. And I was like, shit, now I got to accept it. So, you know what, Saeed? I'm going to do one last show before I go back to playoff season. Got bigger things to worry about. I got the Pacers coming to town on Monday. But until then, I guess I'll be a United fan for the day. You know, then I'll go back to sticking to NBA. But big up for having me. Big up all the guys. Ash, Double A, and Rhino. It's always nice to see everyone. Big up to everyone in the comments. Make sure you guys smash a like. Make sure you guys subscribe. And something tells me it's going to be a long, maybe entertaining show. So
yeah,
just everyone lock in. Everyone lock in.
Yeah, man. And Rhino, man, always blessed, man. Big up to you, man.
Yeah, big up, man. Listen, man, I ain't been fully active, man. Just been doing a lot of outside of football stuff, you know. Man United are just stressful, man. I'm too busy dealing with other stuff to have to, you know, go on YouTube and talk about Manchester United, you know what I mean? Here we go again, you know. But yeah, big up the man as always. Big up Ash, Double A, Staffs, Saeed as always. Make sure you lot are smashing the like button, and let's talk about this, man. Let's see.
No. Let's talk about it.
We got a lot to talk about, man. Some things I might even not know about. So let's unpack everything and let's chat. Let's have this Friday debate. Let's be having.
I need the comments to keep account of how many cake analogies you're gonna do today. Cooking analogies, rice, cake, chicken, all the. Listen, we need a count. Everyone hit the over under. I'm gonna say 4.5, but let's see.
Yeah,
let's see what
analogies never die, man. I got you guys. Trust me.
Analogies never die. Trust me. But listen, we're gonna get a lot to talk about today, yeah. But I want to kick things off tonight, man, because I've had enough. You get me? I can't believe what I saw and what I heard tonight from Ten Hag. More gaslighting, more lying to the fans. More kind of pity party, man. And you know what's even more for me worrying is the fan base, man. Honestly, man, pathetic. The way people, no, I'm being serious, man. The way people, are lapping this up, thinking, gotta feel sorry for him. He's had injuries. He's had this. Things have not gone his way. Honestly, boo-hoo. Yeah. I've had enough, man. The amount of gaslighting from this manager. Every single time, Gary Neville asked him a serious question. But we have to go back to the question. We don't have a consistent back four. Shut up. Seriously, man. I've had enough, man. Yeah, because it doesn't take a best 11 to beat effing Burnley. Yeah, it doesn't take a best 11 to beat half of the teams in this league, mate. Yeah, and this manager wants to talk about injuries. Are you kidding me? You've got players on the bench here that you bought, yeah, or that are talented players on the bench here you don't give minutes to. That could be of benefit to you. But you want to run down players to the ground, yeah, and then expect them to be injury-free. Seriously. And then the people that saying, oh, you know what? After watching that interview, yeah, it's okay now to have one more year. Okay for what to have one more year? Yeah? We are 6th in the league. Yeah? 1 goal difference. We are potentially going to be the worst Man United team post-Fergie, points-wise, yeah? But it's okay to have one more season. It's an absolute joke, man. Seriously, that interview today, yeah, it was an embarrassment. It was you know what? It was, you know, there's fans here that have gone out to watch that year, and this man has come out and gaslighted us, talked about we are playing dynamic football, things are not going out well. You know what? Had we got De Jong, things would have changed. You know, had we got this, things would have changed. Ultimately, yeah, there's no accountability from yourself. Every single time there was a question from Gary Neville, why can't we make ourselves compact? Why are we leaking in more goals? It was again going back to excuses of injuries. I swear down, guys, I've had enough. And that interview it really boiled me. Today,
was it Gary Neville that interviewed him?
Yeah, Gary Neville interviewed him. And you know what, to be fair, Gary Neville asked the questions, but it was my man, yeah, that kept reverting back to injuries. I felt like he was trying to tiptoe around the questions, Gary Neville, yeah. He didn't go and ask the second question. For me, he didn't ask but go back to that. You know what I mean? My man, for me, is a psychological liar, mate. I'm telling you, this manager here is gaslighting. I don't know if obviously English is not his first language, innit? But brother, what he's coming out with, yeah, is total we watch this week in, week out. We are watching this week in, week out. We're leaking in goals. We're one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah, the position may be a lie. You get me? But we are one of the worst teams in the league in terms of coaching. And for you to come out there and go on like, well, if 1 or 2 players we got them, things would have been different. And it's trust the process. Honestly, guys, I've never, ever been so angry today, yeah? Because it's like, it's okay this season. It's okay. It's just okay. You know, forget that this season's happened. We've had injuries. And that, for me, man, I'm just like, broski, everybody's had injuries. Chelsea have had injuries. Bro, Chelsea have had youth players for the past couple of weeks. They've had youth players, Washington, etc., youth players on the bench. And yet still, they're 3 points behind us. So what's their excuse? Honestly, man, it's just very, very much like angering me today, man. Because it's like, you know what? We should all trust the process. Forget the season happened. Trust the process. Yeah. And there's people out there, yeah, that are on the fence. There are people on the fence that are, you know what? They can tell the Ten Hag out, yeah. But after watching all of that, yeah, they're probably thinking, you know what? Yeah, it's okay. We'll just give him 1 more year. You know what I mean? It's been injuries and whatnot. So I'm just, yeah, man. The floor's everyone's, you know what I mean? I'll start with you, Ash, man. Broski, man. He's staying, man. He's staying. I think he's staying next year.
Oh, he's definitely staying. I mean, the way Gary Neville spoke to him today, and it feels like it's all been construed. It's been brought together because Gary Neville. What we've got to remember is he is on the board, not on the board, but he's part of the stadium rebuild, isn't he? You know, he's part of that group. They're all together, so he's in there. He speaks to Sir Jim and all that. Do you know what I mean? So you know he's close. He knows what's going on. But what point 2 was we've all, I say we've all complained, but a lot of people tend to complain about the structure and the issues behind Manchester United, you know, the CEOs, the CFO, technical directors, all that kind of stuff. Ten Hag pushed that to a side today when Gary Neville asked him. He said, no, that's never been an issue for me. It's been absolutely fine. And you know what I would have liked to see Gary Neville push on that, say, well, if it has been fine, so you've had no issue. So why is the problem still on the training ground? Why is the problem still behind the scenes? Why is the issue still with players? Why Why are we still seeing this horrendous football that's been put on show for the last 6 months, conceding 600 shots this season? Absolute madness. And going back to the question of him saying, well, what about the tactics? What about, well, the fullbacks? Why don't you get because Gary Neville's a defender. He knows how to defend. He's been there. He knows what he's doing. So, and he was saying that, why don't you bring the fullbacks in, play them a little bit tighter? Casemiro's isolated. Why don't you bring the midfielders in a little bit deeper and get them a little bit more just structured so that you can build a base from. He gave no answers to that, like you're saying there, Saeed. He gave no answers. He gave no technical knowledge to that question. He just blamed it on injuries. We've seen Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm talking wrong. It's Sir Alex Ferguson, yeah, but we've seen him play with Rafael da Silva and Fabio in the midfield and Darren Gibson and Tom Cleverley up top. Do you know what I mean? And go and play these teams time and time again and get results. Do you know what I mean? This man, this team, these aren't horrendous players. Like you were saying just there, these players are good enough to be beating sides like Burnley, like Bournemouth, like Crystal Palace, who we've been suffering against. Coventry, to have that collapse against Coventry in the last 30 minutes. I mean, what are we discussing here? And I'm pissed off that Gary Neville didn't press him. He didn't go in on him and say, well you've kind of evaded my question here. You're not really discussing what I've even asked you. And I thought it was poor from Gary Neville. And I don't know if you've noticed or you've seen the follow-up interview from Jamie Carragher asking Gary Neville a few questions about him asking Erik Ten Hag. But Jamie Carragher goes in on Gary Neville, actually asks the important questions and says, well, they've been performing poorly. You know, they've not been scoring goals. They've been conceding chances. And speaking about not scoring goals, Ten Hag says in that interview, he said that we're creating a lot more chances and our attacking play is getting so much better. We're plus one goal difference in May. What's he talking? Oh, Saeed, I can't stand it. You know what? I got my windscreen replaced today. I was speaking to an autoglass guy. Do you know what I mean? And he's all Ten Hag. You know, I'm talking to him about it, and I'm like, why? What have you seen from this manager? He goes, well, I just don't think he's had enough time. How much more time do you need to give a manager to see that this manager's not moving anywhere? He's not improving things. He's not improved any players. He's got horrendous talent identification. He does nothing good. I've been saying it for weeks. I've been saying it for months. What does this manager do well? I've not seen it. I can't see it. I'm waiting for someone to answer that.
Quick question, yeah. How bad was your window?
Did you shatter the window in front of him after he said that? That's the rule.
Yeah. Because if it's a guy that's fixing glass, you must have loads of cracks, and he just tells you, "Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. Just give it time."
Exactly.
Like, you know,
yeah.
Facts, sake.
Bro, look.
Yeah, he looked at it a few times as well. You know, yeah. No, it was a brick at the window on the motorway. So yeah, it was a bit of a bad one. So yeah, it's pretty much what's happened at United.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He's obviously done another interview on Viaplay. He's come out here saying, ever since I've been at Man United, we approach our games in an attacking way. We create so many chances, like we did versus Burnley. We also concede many goals. It's open and it's fun to look at.
Is that real? Is that
no? It's a real quote, man.
Fuck off. He must love watching paint dry. Do you think watching that Man United team is fun to look at? He must love watching paint dry. Like this is a. We all knew he was a liar. But now he's taking the piss with it. He's absolutely
taking the piss, man.
Taking the piss. Like a couple of things I took from that interview. One, he's horrendous to try and listen to and watch. He's awkward, but not in a good way, not in a funny way. Like he skates around it doesn't make any sense in what he's saying. It's a bumbling like points. Gary Neville's thinking, Jesus Christ, I've got to sit through an hour of this. Like, honestly, he's just nothing.
But Neville was lapping it up, though, weren't he?
He's not engaged.
That's the weird thing.
He's not. You can't warm to him.
It's not overlapping it. What do you expect? What do you expect?
He's the worst manager I think we've ever had at his club in terms of. I don't know. The communication thing was always something that goes against him. And listen, I don't watch press conferences because I don't give a shit. It's again similar to this. It's all fed to fit a narrative. And watching that interview, I've seen less scripting on Hollyoaks. Like, genuinely, I've seen less scripting on Hollyoaks. It's because obviously, like you say, Gary Neville is almost in on the payroll now because obviously he's going to get massive kickback from this new stadium. Yep. Will hotel football be attached to it or whatever you want to look at? So he's not going to go against the club again, is he? Do you know what I mean? He knows he's in inner workings now. So he's not going to go against it. So I just don't know why. Get Jamie Carragher doing it because he will pull him up and
Yeah.
When it's not going the way he wants it to go, he'll stop the interview and say, no, I want you to answer this and answer that. Also, as well, I can't believe that he's put us not being proper competitive over 2 seasons down to 2 players. De Jong last season and Kane this season. It's absolutely disgusting that the fact you've not got these 2 players means you can't play the way you want to play. Because to me, that's how. Because first of all, they're 2 different positions, and secondly, we didn't even have a striker last season. So how a striker this season would make us any better? It's just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And for him to say he wanted De Jong and Casemiro in midfield, well, we only got Casemiro because you didn't get De Jong in the first.
De Jong, exactly.
And then if you wanted De Jong so bad, why go and spunk 60 million up the wall for Mason Mount, who's barely fucking played? Go and get the 2 players that apparently you wanted. It's all bullshit. It's all meant to fit a narrative that I'm hard done by, everything's against me. When, let's talk about the fact you've gone and spent a lot of money. You've pushed to sign expensive players who are all pretty much failing at the club right now, especially this season. Let's talk about that, Ten Hag. Let's talk about how, you oversee this whole group of 25, 30 players. You're sticking to 15, 16. Some players can't get a game. And we're seeing a conveyor belt now of injury after injury after injury. The only thing I can say for him, and it happens so much at Manchester United, lack of accountability.
He doesn't have any, though. He doesn't have any.
Never. It's always something else. It's always someone else's fault. It's always things conspiring against you. It's never, I've been bad at my job this season. We've been bad at our jobs this season. We need to take away what we've learned from this season and try and be better next season, because I never see anyone getting any slapped asses. No one at Manchester United gets a slapped ass, because it's always, he comes out saying, we play great football, we're brilliant, we're one of the most creative teams in the world. Mate, I sit at Old Trafford for 90 minutes. I watch this shit all the time. You cannot tell me what I'm watching is some of the best football in the Premier League, because you're dynamic. You're a barefaced liar. You're a barefaced liar.
Burnley having more possession at home than us. Do you know what I mean? At Old Trafford, Burnley having more possession.
Bro, you know what's, and then he goes here saying, he said he needs time. It is how Man United gets judged. They only see the result, but we need time. You have to accept the process going slower, and you can't expect straight away to compete for titles in the Champions League and the Premier League. Listen, broski, we can't even do that, bro. We can't even compete in the group stages, man. We're out of the group stages. We can't even compete football to football. Forget winning titles, mate. The bare minimum, I don't think Man United can do.
Worst ever finish for an English side in the Champions League. Most goals conceded for an English side in the Champions League history.
I remember on that other channel, and Faz, I can't remember what loss it was, but on the fan forum with Faz, and he was listing that he went on this massive rant.
Yeah, I know.
Listing all the records this manager's breaking to the point he had to get interrupted. It's like, no, let him cook, because he's dragging us through the mud. But yeah, because it's a case of he's the one we all wanted, and people won't go against him now. Listen, I wanted him, and I know
everyone wanted him. Yeah, most people wanted him.
He is. Why fans cannot accept and hold their hands up and say, we've got it wrong. He's not good enough. Let's move on and try and make it better. But no, it's no. Let's just wait for this structure, because once he gets people in who are competent in a job, all of a sudden he's going to become a great coach. He's going to become a great man manager. No, it's bullshit. It's still going to be the same. It's just he's going to have people above him who will probably get rid of him quicker than the other knobheads who have just left. That's all it'll be.
I can't lie,
you said
man.
that. Yeah. So you know what you said there, Double A? Great managers come into clubs and they change the people around them. They make them people around them better. Sir Alex did that back in the 90s, and a lot of people they hang the hat on the idea that, oh yeah, but Sir Alex needed 4 or 5 years, whatever. Do you know what I mean? You know, different time, anomaly of a man. Do you know what I mean? But the top managers you've seen with Pep, you've seen with Klopp. Klopp came into that team. All the Liverpool fans are screaming FSG out and all that. Do you know what I mean? They're great managers. They come in and they change the people around them. Now, at the start of this season, if you'd have said to any of us, Aston Villa and Spurs were going to finish ahead of us, nobody would have believed that. We're going to be out of the Champions League. It's a bare minimum to be in the Champions League for him. That's it. It should be a bare minimum. It's a sackable offence to not finish in the Champions League. Aston Villa have had injuries. Spurs have had injuries. Other teams have had injuries. You see what Chelsea threadbare at the moment. Do you know what I mean? They've got the 3 points behind us. They're looking like they potentially could finish above us this season. It's madness. It's not good enough. The idea that this man gets another season is I mean, it's worrying. It's worrying.
Yeah, big up LFC side, man. You know what's mad, yeah? I generally, he's very, very confident he's staying next year. And that's what worries me for me. He comes out here saying, I assume that I will be Man United manager next year. I signed a long-term deal consciously, but I'm not the person who walks away. Contacts with Ajax in the future, why not? It's a fascinating club. I had great time there. Please, man. Please.
That's quite a bit. He's leaving the door open there. And obviously he's going into his final year.
100%.
He's going into his final year now, isn't it? So who goes into a final year with nothing on the table? We're not hearing anything about a new deal, which rightly so. The only thing I go against probably what everything I've said here, right? The only reason I would keep him, right? Only reason I would keep him is so he can oversee these, because these players are worse. A lot of these players need to fucking go, need to go quick. I would rather him oversee that because he's had 2 years of him.
But he's enabled half of them to stay, though. When he talked about 80% of the squad leaving, he reacted kind of funny, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So it looks like to me.
But he's going to say that, though, isn't he? He's not going to come out and say, yeah, all of them are for sale. He's not going to say that.
No, he's not going to say that. He's not going to say that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think personally for me, yeah, like a lot of these players that you think they're going to go are going to go. Like, he's going to still gas up McTominay and he's still going to gas up, and what's his name? Maguire. Right. So end of the day, right? Yeah, they may be sold and whatnot, but I don't trust him because half of these players and the real technical ballers, yeah, will be rotting on the bench again. The real players that we want to start week in, week out, they'll be rotting on the bench. I'm telling you now, guys. I'm telling you now. The real players that we want will still be rotting on the bench. So I don't want him to oversee anything, man. Don't want him to oversee anything.
Well, luckily, it's not just him overseeing it, or it's not meant to be.
No, of course.
The thing is, Saeed, if another manager comes in, like we all worry that another manager comes in and all of a sudden they get to oversee the players. And that's why I would hope Wilcox and Barada and Blanc, whoever, say to it, if a new manager was to come in, he gets sacked after the FA Cup final, holds 7 against City or something, and they say, this is the list of players you were definitely going to work with, and these are the ones that are going regardless. You don't even get to look at any old tapes of them. They're going. Maguire, McTominay, whoever, I don't care. And this is your core base. You've got 8 signings or 5 signings, and then we go from there. But I just don't trust United to do that. And I think because Maguire's had a great season and a good season, people saying he's had a great season, because he's played the most because of injuries, he's gonna skate by and have another season. McTominay, because he scored 7 goals in the Premier League, he's gonna have another season. When we know they're not good enough. Next season, I guarantee McTominay's not scoring 5 goals. Because it's a purple patch. We know what the type of player he is. We've seen enough of him being shit to all of a sudden think, oh, I heard someone making an excuse today, like the best thing about what Ten Hag done, he's found the perfect position for McTominay now. Like, this is always going to happen for McTominay. No, it's not. Eventually, he's going to be shit again, and it's just going to be wasting.
Do you know what, Double? Do you know what I think, though? I think that's kind of true. I won't give Ten Hag the credit for that, but I think out of all the times McTominay has been here, this is his perfect thing to come off the bench and score goals.
But as a
was he doing that internationally last time? Before, he wasn't doing that. So I think he's found, and he's always been a striker. Realistically, all the managers have always played in midfield. So I think realistically, obviously Ten Hag don't actually play him up front from what I've seen, but I think this is McTominay's best thing, coming off the bench and being in the final third and scoring.
That wasn't by design, though, right now.
Yeah.
That wasn't by design.
No, but profile, according to his profile, that's the best you get out of McTominay. Rather than playing him as a DM, rather than playing him as a centre mid, you know what I mean?
The only problem I have with that, Rhino, is that we should not be a club that has people just to sit on the bench. You always
no way, man.
On the bench. That's how it has to be. He can't start a game, so why should we have someone who's just happy to sit on the bench to come on and score? Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the best sub of all time, you could start him, he would score goals.
Yep.
Tomley's not going to do that. And more often than not, he's goals missing. He's not a great footballer. He might pop up with a goal, make himself busy, but like you say, you know, he's looked out to find that he's a super sub or whatever you want to call it, but he's not good enough to start for Manchester United. So why should he take
true? That's definitely true.
And stopping the progression of a player that we all want to see, like Diallo or even a Palestri or whoever, even if you talk about Sancho coming back, why should McTominay be given more chances? He's been here 6, 7, 8 years now. Time to move these players on. They need to go.
100%.
Big up to Adam Evius. He says this to the media. You can't believe he thinks the guy's let him do the clear out under INEOS, see how it goes, starting again with the new manager is long. Why is it long? Like, genuinely, why is it long? You've got a new structure coming in. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm not sentiment. I don't have any sentiment towards managers anymore, man. I'll be real with you. This guy's catfished me, man. So this idea that for me, I have loyalty. Even when the next manager comes in, when he does badly, and when I know I'm not going to get anything out of him, and I can clearly see he's not the right man for this job, I'll call it out as well. Like, you don't just say, oh, trust the process. This idea of trusting the process and having blind faith, it gets you anywhere. It gets you nowhere. So when I see something wrong, obviously at the point when, for me, when Ten Hag lost me was when he said Varane, it's tactical reasons why he's not playing the Manchester derby. That's when he lost me. Yeah, that's when he lost me, for me personally, yeah. But if he didn't do that, I would have probably called it down the line when I see the patterns. When I see the patterns, right, and I see the style of football's not changing, I call it out. Simple as that. I'm not just going to be like, I'll wait. I'm not here to sit on the fence. I'm judging things. I give credit where it's due. And if I don't like it, I'll be like, yo, I don't like it. And if I see a pattern emerging, and then I'll say, you know what? I've had enough. I don't really believe in this manager anymore. And for me, I'm not even proven wrong. Look at it. Look at the pattern since then. I've been Ten Hag out. Has it really improved? No. So at the end of the day, I'm justified in saying Ten Hag out. Am I not? Am I right? Am I lying or what?
No, I agree, man. I agree with you. Do you know what it is as well? Like, like with Ten Hag, since we most of us wanted them at the club, and like his aura and everything, he was checking a lot of boxes in terms of the way he was presenting himself, things that he was saying and whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The biggest problem for me is that he doesn't seem to be the person he was. Obviously, the pressure has got to him, and as I've said before, being at this club, you need to be able to communicate to us. This is a very, very big club, and communication and your presence is very important. And even just that fundamental, he doesn't have. Like, if we were playing fun and exciting football, and he was, and you could
would have
see
had patience.
Yeah, we will definitely have patience, and we know similar to a bit what Ange is going through. Obviously, there's that's a whole conversation, but generally, what I mean is that they've got a style of play. Yes, they've gone down, but whatever, it's their first season. We are not seeing nothing from Ten Hag. If we was to see us playing fun and exciting football, high risk, high reward football, we can kind of take what he's saying. Imagine you're saying, yeah, we play fun football, but there's risk to it. We just got to learn, blah, blah, blah. But we're not seeing nothing. This is the second season. And I just think there's no way we can give this guy a third season from just the fact that he can't communicate to us. Just the fact that he doesn't know how to relay the issues and give us confidence. That alone should just be enough. Forget even what we're seeing on the pitch. The way his presence, he doesn't give me no confidence. And this is what I was saying on another show before, that if Ten Hag knew about man management and he was treating players differently, but there was a direction to it, there was a respect, a lot of players would not say nothing because they respect the vision. For example, let's say, if we go back to the whole Sancho thing, the fact that he wrote the whole message and whatever, Sancho wouldn't write that message if he respected Ten Hag. Like if you can respect someone even if they chat bad about you, but you can kind of say, you know what, I hear that, cool, whatever. There's a way you deal with it, innit? I just think, Sancho said he's thinking, look, bruv, my man's a prick. I'm gonna chat back. I don't care what it looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that. He doesn't command respect. He doesn't command that belief that you know where we're going. We're so lost. We haven't seen no good football for all seasons, even parts of the first season.
Bro, so, January, man.
Yes,
since January last year. Let's be
it's
real,
bad,
man.
I just don't get. How can you back him? Like, I'm very interested to know, like, the points people, because everyone talks about the process.
No, but it's all about time, though. It's time, and it's the fact that it's injuries. I've done a space. I had guys call militia groups coming on the space. Ten Hag militia, and what they said was, I said to them, listen, why do you back Ten Hag? And most of it comes down to, you know what, man, he's had injuries, it's been unfair. I said, listen, bro, forget all of that, yeah? Why do you believe this manager is the right manager to take us forward? And I still don't hear a concrete enough answer. And if they do say anything, it's because of last year. Well, are we basing everything on last year? Are we always going to look back on last year?
Side, how bad do you have to be to actually say, okay, enough's enough? Like, what are these guys' tolerance level? And then, do you know what they do as well? Oh, but we're going to go through the same cycle. This is the worst. This is the worst part we've ever been the worst. How bad can it get? This is the worst we've seen. So I don't know, man.
It's funny because I remember like none of these people can tell you anything that is the most important, and it's about the football. No one can say we should keep him for anything that he does with this football team. It's all about, again, excuses. Or he's had all these injuries. He's not got the players that he's wanted. You know, he's not had a proper structure above him. It's all excuses every single time. And listen, like I've said so many times on this channel, I was very late in not wanting the manager gone. I was one of them stupid fans that's like, no, we need to try and turn the tide. I'm sick of these players overruling the manager, which I am. I still am the exact same on that. But this was all given.
Nah, don't even call it stupidness. Just call it benefit of the doubt. Call it benefit of the doubt.
I was blind.
Yeah. You've got faith. Sometimes you just want to give someone a little chance.
Of course. That's normal.
You get me?
Normal.
Yeah.
Until they tell you otherwise. Until someone tells you another reason why not to trust them. You know what I mean? Then you keep trusting them. You know, until you find out, right, nah, they've lost my trust now. That's it. So at the end of the day, everything's based on evidence. And when new evidence comes into play, that's when you say, right, I've had enough now. I've seen enough. And that's what most people have done with Ten Hag. They've looked at every single evidence. They've looked at every single rhetoric. They've looked at every single situation that this manager has shown us with his team, by the way. This is his team. So when we say players, this is his team, yeah. We could talk about the underperforming players that we all want to go out, yeah. But this is his team. He's overseeing the in-game management. He's overseeing the lack of style of play. He's overseeing everything that is going wrong with his football club in terms of the footballing wise. Forget the structure. The structure is getting sorted out. But footballing wise, we have failed under this manager. Yeah, like we failed under Ollie. That was every single thing, right? It's been down to his philosophy and his way of playing. And then now to undermine fans here, to basically talk about injuries. That's where, for me, you're so disingenuous. And it gets to the point of you're gaslighting us so badly, yeah, to the point where, right, yo, bro, you're just a liar, man. You're just a barefaced liar. And it's like, we don't see what you see. So are you trying to take the mick out of us? Are you trying to, like, bro, I think he's just like, yo, he must be some serial kind of lie. I don't know, man. Like, this brother just lies for the sake of lying, bro. And I'm like, broski, are you all right in the head? Like, Moose is right, man. He's concussed. And we can say that on this platform. You know what I mean? He's concussed. Yeah. He is concussed. And it's getting too much, man. It's getting too much, man. I mean, big up to Kato says, notice the rhetoric shift. He sacrificed his squad last season to compete for titles with no rotation. Why is Ten Hag downplaying success now? Well, you tell me. You know what I mean? You tell me now. You know what I'm saying to you? That's why, for me, he's got to go, man. Every single thing he's downplaying, man. Like, bro, I'm seriously like, dude. And if he stays here next year, broski, we're going to get worse and worse. You think bro, every single bad habits don't change overnight. Bad habits don't change with better quality players as well. Let's say, for example, this summer, we go and sign Todibo. We go and sign, I don't know, who can we get in midfield? Onana. Because everybody seems to be obsessed with Onana. We go and get Onana. Are you telling me we don't see the same problems we're having this time next year? I'm telling you now, man. The overall plan here does not change. The overall weaknesses of the team will not change. You may see a bridge in quality. You may see sometimes we look better. You know, sometimes they're able to do something better than, let's say, a Maguire or let's say a McTominay. But the overall style of play does not change. And the overall weaknesses in the team does not change. I'm telling you now, man. Because right now, they are playing, it's almost like, I don't know, man. It's crazy the football they're playing right now. Leaving a midfielder on his own. You know, the fullbacks, you know what I mean, isolated. The centre-backs on their own. The way we're getting transitioned and the turnovers and the speed. You know, you're watching it week in, week out. That's still going to happen, you know. Even when you go and get Onana. Even when you go and get these players. You know?
You know what though, Saeed? You know what it could be? It could be just a case of INEOS getting their men in for next year. They don't have to deal with getting a new manager in. That's the only positive thing you can see. We're just sacrificing a season. We're actually going to give up a season, and nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. Do you know what I mean? But it's the idea that if they bring in another manager now, they've still got to get all the pieces around that manager and just kind of, it just creates a little bit of awkwardness for everything that's going on going forward. So that's the only thing I can think that INEOS is thinking and Sir Jim's thinking is that we keep him in, we get everything built around him, and then once we've got everything built around the manager, ready for the next manager the season after, maybe it's just a case of he gets him to January, and then January look to bring in a new manager. That could be what we're looking at the moment, and that's really what we've got to hope for, because you're not getting anything out of this manager. This manager just doesn't know how to apply to Gary Neville with tactical reasons. And tactical arguments and stuff. And Gary Neville's not the best, as we know and seen him at Valencia. What we've got to remember is these coaches come from the Netherlands, and they've all been horrendous, the majority of them. You look at Frank de Boer. Frank de Boer won 4 league titles back to back. 4 league titles for Ajax. Came to Palace, couldn't win a game, was horrendous. Do you know what I mean? His football, he couldn't translate. I'm not... You know what? Before Ten Hag came to Manchester United, I thought he had that tactical nous and understanding. But you dig a little bit deeper, and he doesn't talk about tactics as a game. He talks a little bit more about the application and how much players want it and the effort they give and the desire and all that. There's no kind of, like, you hear from Klopp, you hear from Pep, you hear from the great tacticians in the game. You hear where players are moved, what their ideas are in the game. Ten Hag, I'm not too sure he was what we thought he was. Like we've been saying for a long time, we've been catfished by this manager, and he's got nothing more to come. He doesn't know how to bring the fullbacks in and unisolate Casemiro. And he's talking about bringing Casemiro with Frankie de Jong, and that midfield would still be vacant. That midfield would still be vacant. You've put Frankie de Jong in that midfield. That doesn't all of a sudden make it a midfield that's not getting ran through like it has been all season. Frankie de Jong is not that kind of player that goes around just putting out fires here and everywhere. He's not that guy. So the idea that he would have been the solve and the fix to it all, it's madness. And I'm talking about Harry Kane as well. Like, wait, we've not been able to service Rasmus all season, so now all of a sudden, because it's Harry Kane, we're going to be able to service Harry Kane. Like, wait, what we're talking about? Because you're saying that these two players would have been the answer, but those two positions right now, no matter who's in there, the players around them and the tactics and the instructions that they're being given, it's not good enough to get any tune out of these players. So,
The thing is, with the Harry Kane thing, the reason why I don't buy into the Harry Kane situation is that, we're going on like Bayern Munich are not a big club, We're going on like we're trying to compete with, let's say, I don't know, a club that's lesser than our stature. Bayern Munich's a big club. They wanted him badly. They didn't have a striker. So, we missed out. Boo-hoo. Like, we missed out, but then you decided to go and get Højlund, who was obviously a potential. You know what I mean? When there was probably other strikers that were better in terms of suited for now. You know what I mean? In terms of giving us something now. But still, though, I still don't buy into that, man. Our attacking rhythm at the minute can be better. I'm telling you now, it can be better. Rasmus Højlund can get more goals. The problem is, though, that when we play football, it's not great at all. You know what I mean? We're not servicing anyone. The attacking rhythm's rubbish. You know what I mean? Garnacho and Rashford or Anthony, the way they kind of get towards the attack, it's not great, if I'm being honest with you. The midfield to attack, the synergy isn't great as well. So, you can talk about Harry Kane and all that, man. But at the end of the day, is that what we're relying on? Harry Kane, and then the whole world's like, broski, not everybody has Harry Kane, they play better football than us. You know what I mean? Burnley don't have Harry Kane, but they scored a goal out of Trafford. Not everyone has Harry Kane. You're not always going to get your first choice. But what's more important, though, is when you don't have your first choice, how do you adapt? Do you just feel sorry for yourself? What have you done this year to adapt to not getting Harry Kane and not getting, I don't know, Rasmus de Jong again this season? What have you adapted? Come on, man. It's a joke.
I think you could give him every single player that he wanted, every top of the list. What Ashley's saying, I don't think he's good enough to get a tune out of him. I'm going to nick a Rhino analogy here. It's like going to Waitrose and buying the best produce and best steak and best ingredients for a slap-up meal you can get, and then the recipe is in Japanese and you can't understand the fucking word of it because you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This guy just doesn't understand it. Do you know what I mean? He's a musician who can't read music. He's just terrible. He's just playing a tune to try and get through the concert as best he can. Like say, for a manager who's meant to be this tactical magician who had Ajax playing some beautiful football, to come here and has never shown any ounce of playing beautiful football at Manchester United. And the worst for me, and everyone is saying he needs another year, For me, like when you come in down here and you come up here, so then come back down here, it's too much of a chasm. Like what he's gonna have to rely on next season is 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams being off again. Because that's the only way that Manchester United seems to do well at this moment in time when Liverpool, Chelsea, City aren't playing too well. It's not always going to happen now. These other big clubs are on it from the jump now, and I don't. Liverpool may have it off with Arne Slot. See how it depends on how well he takes to the league. But it's just, I just think again, as I keep saying it all the time on this, the idea of Ten Hag is much better than the reality, and that's how
you know what it is.
People live.
You know what it is? First of all, I heard you guys all cook for about 45 minutes. This is the most I ever sat here not saying a word. I wanted to collect all the ingredients before I say anything. And you guys cooked a lot. Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. The reason I'm more laid back than you guys are now is just because I already expect this from this man. Like, it's just like someone's lied to you multiple times. Oh, shocking. They lied to you for the 5th time, the 6th time, the 7th time. It don't hit the same like the first 1 or 2 times. You know, I'm expecting this from this manager. This is why I'm not as upset. You know, I just don't have the energy for it anymore because I do expect it. And it's just like insane for me to come in here with the same energy every time, saying the same thing when we all know what the reality is. The reality is that he's not good enough. Now, all the stuff that he said, obviously you guys touch on a lot of it. And I'll just go off the last thing we were just talking about, Harry Kane and all that stuff. I'm so sorry. There's no way you're a top manager and you're making excuses that you couldn't play a brand of football because you didn't sign all the best players in their positions in a matter of 1 or 2 summers. Yeah. It's just not acceptable. It's not reality. It's like Saeed telling you, I can't do content unless you give me the most expensive camera in the world. You got to give me the most expensive mic in the world. You got to give me guests that all have like 1 million subscribers each, or else I'm not doing a show. That you can't do that. You got to carry on. He got to do his own thing, and he's got to make the best of what's there. I understand what he's saying, but I don't need Harry Kane. I don't need Casemiro.
We play better than Burnley.
And exactly. And I don't need Frankie de Jong to keep the ball against Burnley, to keep the ball from Coventry in the second half, to keep the ball from Sheffield, to keep the ball from all these teams that smacked us. Like, it's inexcusable what he's talking about. And the fact, by the way, it's just like, I feel like he just does a lot of waffle and he doesn't notice it. Like when he was talking about Harry Kane, then he talks about Højlund. You're talking to me about 2 completely different profiles and two players that are completely different stages in their career. You're telling me you wanted Kane. Well, who didn't want Kane? I'm pretty sure everyone wanted Kane, but you couldn't get him. And then you went for Højlund because he fit what he said was there on their scouting report: the age, the longevity, of how long he's going to be here, the developmental that they're going to do his game, this, and that. And he's saying eventually he's going to score more goals. If Kane was here, yes, he would score more goals. But let's just be realistic. How many more goals would he score? Because
but he's proof, though. Sorry to cut you off there. Bayern Munich is proof of Harry Kane scoring more goals than he's ever scored, but Bayern Munich being shit this year. That's proof.
But that's what I'm trying to say, Saeed. Our issue is not that we have Højlund up front. Our issue is that we can't play football. Højlund is just a reflection of how bad our football was. Because he could have a few more goals. I don't rate him that high, but he could have more goals if we were playing better football. I was checking our stats earlier. Our stats this season, we have in the league, we have an XG of like 52 point something. So a little bit under 52.5, something like that. I forgot what it was. And we have 52 goals. So statistically, we're actually meeting our XG. It's just a very low XG because you don't create enough. So is Kane really scoring more if he's there? Probably, because individually he's a good player and who'll create something out of nothing. But that just shows me the issue at the end of the day is the coaching. The issue is not just the individuals. When Gary Neville asked him about, like the Ajax style of football, and he was doing this, and that before he came in, and his response was like, I don't have the Ajax players. No, you do. Because who were your first recruits in the first season? Anthony, who you persisted with from Ajax, Lissandro, who you persisted with. Let's be fair, he wanted Timber first, but when he couldn't get Timber, they gave him his partner, which is Martinez.
Lissandro,
and then he signed Eriksen. I remember at the time, go look for the interviews. He said he signed it because he didn't play for him under Ajax, but he played the Ajax style of football, so he understands the brand of football that he wants. So you have
Van de Beek as well.
I won't even say Van de Beek because he was there anyway. So I'm just going to pretend that he didn't want a Van de Beek and he wanted to move away from Van de Beek. But you also went for Onana a year later, who played for you in Ajax. You wanted to get Frankie de Jong all summer, who played for you in Ajax. You wanted Mount and you got him, who you scouted while you were at Ajax. No, but he also scouted Mount while he had him in Ajax. He scouted Amrabat and he scouted Malacia. So you went for identical profiles that you wanted for a different brand of football that you played in Ajax. And as Double A said, we thought he's a better tactician than this because he got a lot of praise for playing two different styles of football during his tenure at Ajax, which is transition football and possession-based football. We've seen him take on the likes of Sebastian Haller and make something out of nothing. We've seen Dusan Tadic being a Southampton reject, going there, playing good football. Ziyech, before he went to Chelsea, playing good football. We have seen him make decent footballers into very good footballers. And this is what we thought. We remember the dream. We all had a dream when he comes in, how many players he's going to improve. Because if you could do that with the players that I just named, surely you can do that with some of the United players. So he's just going back on so many things that he has previously done. Your track record, you got the job because of things that you did. And this is why when I joke about the cooking analogy with Rhino, that was the analogy I made all season. It's like I hired a chef because you gave me a sample of something. I said, I want this sample. I like it. Now I'm going to hire you for my event, for my cooking event, my party, whatever's going on, my wedding, my whatever. And I need you to come in and cook this. But you came in and cooked something else. I hired you because what I saw you did over there. So he keeps going back and contradicting himself with things that he's done. And this is why when people say, give him a chance. All right, let's say we'll give him a chance. You have just convinced me right now that I'll give him a chance next year. If I sit down at a Ten Hag dinner and he says, give him a chance, I say, all right, you know what? Yeah. Today, Mustafi, I'm convinced. Give him a chance. What am I expecting next year? You wouldn't tell me anything that's going to happen any different than this year because I'll tell you what, we'll have injuries again. He won't get all his profiles in the summer again. And we'll go into next season and we'll face adversity again. And he's going to come with the excuses. I don't expect going into next season, all of a sudden we're going to have Frankie de Jong and Casemiro's going to be fit. Varane is going to be fit. Lissandro's going to be fit. And no one's going to miss any games. We might not have 60 injuries, but we'll get 30, we'll get 40, we'll get 50. So what? Am I going to do the cycle all over again? And this is why I don't understand what am I supposed to expect next year? Because I've seen 2 years of you of making excuses. Yes, some of them are out of your hand. Yes, of course, ideally you want your back four. But I could just look around me and see people that had similar circumstances. Some of them had the same time. Some of them had less time. But the majority of them, at least, has showed me adaptability. The likes of De Zerbi, who I don't even want. Ange Postecoglou. Even, what's his name from Newcastle? Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe, as shit as the season they've had, they're just one position behind us after all. And they actually had no back line at some point. They were actually playing like the youngsters or bench players all over the place. So I've seen people do the same thing that you had to go through, Ten Hag, but they've done better. So what have you shown me to warrant one more year? And that's the question that no one wants to answer. Nobody.
But you know what it is with me? I could go one further with the injuries, man. Half of it's been created by Ten Hag's football and the way we play and the fact that is the intensity of the training. I could go one further. We could have them uncomfortable conversations about his training methods and the way we play football. The fact that it is literally like a basketball game, yeah, that's what would be one of the causes of injuries. So we could talk about it like that. You know what I mean? That should have been one of the questions that, you know, is your... And he said it as well, the intensity of the training, the intensity of what we're trying to do. But come on, bro, to the detriment of what? You know? And we ain't getting better as a team anyway. So you doing this intensity, is it helping and benefit the team regardless anyway? We don't see pressing. We don't see us. We're knackered after 70 minutes. You know, we don't see this team showing any sort of drive after 70 minutes because we're just that gassed. And when we have substitutions in, it's just poor. So I, for me, like I said to you, yeah, I don't see anything right with this manager. If I did, I swear down, I would give him credit. But right now, everything for me is just jarring, man. It is very, very much jarring. And like I said, is it going to get any better? And INEOS, listen, man, you've done well until this minute, but you could literally, you know, be in a bit of a jeopardy. Because if you keep this manager one more year, yeah, let's say, for example, they keep this manager one more year, but then by October, they sack him. Who's available? What manager is going to be available in October, in November? That's going to be here and say, you know what, I can take on this job. Or we're going to go down the interim route again, you know, that we did with Ralph Rangnick and just waste the season. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke.
But here's the thing about INEOS as well. If they keep him for one more year, I'm just gonna go by that hypothetical for now. If they go by that, if they go by him one more year, because let's say they actually don't rate the alternatives that are out there right now, or they can't get who they want right now, what are they doing for me to guarantee that I won't have a similar season where everything is all over the place, where we look on the pitch and we have no identity? Because at the end of the day, these technical directors and the football directors, they're meant to sit there with the manager and say what the plan is, how we should be looking there on the pitch. They're not going to apply the tactics for him, but they should be telling him this is the final product. This is what we need to be looking at, because this is what we're going to be recruiting towards. Because we're not recruiting to you. We're recruiting towards what our style is and where our future lies and how we want to look in the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. What are they doing to guarantee that? Are they changing the training methods on the pitch, in the training ground, that are causing all these injuries? Because let's be honest, you're talking about the style of play side. How many injuries have came off during training? How many times do we wake up on a random Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we hear someone is out with injury? We've had this a lot this season. It wasn't just in-game injuries. A lot of them were on the training pitch. And yes, Ten Hag might not be in charge of all the training. He's not in charge of training. There's coaches out there that do the training for him. But who's instructing that? Who is saying, listen, clearly we have an injury crisis because of X, Y, Z. We need to focus more, maybe, I don't know, on recovery and less on intense training. I don't know. I'm just saying this hypothetically. Like, I'm not an expert at the end of the day. Are INEOS guaranteeing me this? That's what I want to say. Like, at the end of the day, the easiest thing is to say, I don't have the best conditions, so I'm just going to lay back, let everything burn until I see the circumstances change, and then I'll make something out of nothing. And this is what I don't want to go into next season, because if I do, I will start the season by saying I already don't trust INEOS, because you can't tell me after all the hype that we've had over months, talking about Omar Barada, who's talking about how in City they don't give any players or managers more than 2 years to start delivering and start showing like quality or whatever it is. And then you're talking to me about Dan Ashworth and what he's done in the game, and Jason Wilcox and what he's done in the game, and INEOS and what they've done in France and Europe. And then you come in and you're just allowing it to happen again. Oh, yeah, let's just chill out until we find a better manager. I don't want to do that. I want you to tell me how are we going to fix this right now, with or without Ten Hag. And we deserve these answers, because I don't want another season like this. I'm not saying we'll win the league, but what is changing? What are you doing to change it, with or without this manager? We deserve to get some of these answers.
And even
sorry, Varane.
Oh, go on. Yeah, no, I'll go after you, Double A. I'll go after you.
Just jumping on the back of that, obviously, stories coming out today about Sir Jim Radcliffe sending out emails to staff in Old Trafford about how it's dirty and not tidy and all that. Mate, you need to be doing the same about the garbage we're looking on the pitch every single week.
He said somebody smell like shit. That's
He sent him
that, you send him that email. Somebody smell like shit.
Bro, what the flip, man? How bad is carroting, man? Flipping hell, man.
Bro,
man can't even get a Hoover.
We can't even sell chicken at the ground because we got one-star health rating.
Henry the Hoover, man. It costs 150 quid. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah, go ahead,
man. Man. That's what I'm saying, man. Do you know what it is, guys, man? Let's have some faith. Let's just wait and see what's gonna happen, man. Obviously, we're a club where there's gonna be a lot of paper talk. I know it's kind of mad when you think about it, like, because I just see a comment, and which is quite true. Someone was saying, why would they approve the interview? Like, I think it was Don Dada, big up Don Dada. He's saying that obviously the club have approved the interview. So what can that mean for PR terms? But you never know, man. Let them, maybe they're putting the rope for him to hang himself to dry, and then they hopefully sack him, man. We just need to wait and see, man. Bro. You never know, because think about it like this, yeah. Okay, cool. There's two things that can happen. Yes, they're probably trying to, calm the storm because they're gonna keep him or whatever. But we have to look at it both sides, man. In terms of who they've appointed so far, how they've got rid of people and stuff like that. It's a big contradiction, and at the end of the day, cool. They could do a lot of good things, and then we need to expect hurdles in the road, because there's always going to be hurdles in the road. Nothing's going to be perfect sailing. I think I don't know if there's any football club that's done everything 100% perfectly. So maybe they are going to get things wrong, but I just think hopefully in the long term, people like Barada, there's no way someone like Barada, Wilcox, and all these guys can rate Ten Hag. So there must be some sort of exit plan. Maybe we might not get him out
bro.
straight
He's
away.
saying I'm speaking to Wilcox every day and that, bro. He's man
Peak,
saying
I know it's peak.
I'm
I'm just trying to have faith because I'm starting to hear this, bro. Hopefully there's some sort of long-term plan, man.
No,
yeah,
the reality
no.
is we need to hear it though.
Yeah.
Big up Dan, man. Always a pleasure, man. Dan Watson. He says, I don't think every single injury has been legit, by the way. I believe some players say I feel injuries when the going gets tough. Always goes back to the culture and the club-wide problems, standards needed. You know what? I'm real. I think it's the same with Lisandro Martinez. I think Lisandro Martinez, low-key, yeah. I'm not saying he's lying about his injury here, but when he went to Argentina, he should have stayed in Manchester. I got it wrong. I'll be wrong. I had a little argument with Rance. Had a little argument. He probably should have stayed. But I said, yeah, bro, see, he don't want to be training in the Ten Hag regime because he's thinking, rah, that's going to put me through my paces. I can just go to Argentina, yeah, do a little few rondos, go over there, chill, relax.
Saeed, you know what it is? I disagree with that. Do you know why? Yeah, I think, yeah, if you look at it like this, when Ten Hag had Martinez before, his injury record wasn't that bad, and that was under quote unquote Ten Hag's regime, obviously
Ten Hag,
whatever. Yeah.
But
all these players are getting injured. All of our, even throughout the whole, throughout the season, a lot of teams are having injuries. But United, we can't lie and act like there's something dodgy happening. There's something dodgy happening at our club. There's they're not putting people through they're not like analyzing these players properly. These players are being overworked in some way. There's something that Ten Hag or whatever the culture staff are doing that's not helping, and it's not maybe regulated properly. So I think there's definitely a problem with the medical staff and all of that stuff. So until we see all of that go out and we see, because too many players, bro, even Kambuala, all these guys, they're all getting injured. It's crazy.
Kambuala, bro, he's a young G, bro.
Bare injuries. So there's something dodgy happening at the club. So I personally think that there's more to the club. It's the club's fault for the injuries. They're not They're not managing these players well. So that's what I think personally, in my opinion.
We've had
that was proven.
Yeah, go on.
That was proven when Casemiro went to Barcelona to check on his hamstring. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that one. When's that?
No, but yeah. So what happened was he could feel his hamstring. He wasn't too sure, and the club said, "Yeah, nice, fine to play." You know, he passed a late medical and all that. You know, a fitness test during the week, and then he didn't feel comfortable, so he went over to Barcelona, got a check there, and they said, "No, yeah, if you continue to play, it's going to go. So you need to take a bit of time off." That was only a couple of months ago. That.
Flipping hell, I didn't even know that, to be fair.
It even goes back to Schweinsteiger, who said the other week I was going back to Germany. Like, they don't want to stay here. The medical department is a shithole, mate. No, they're gonna get you worse than get you better. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Players are being brought back too early. There's so many bad things. And when I say overworked, I mean like behind the scenes, they're being overtrained, and it's not being done in a, what's the word, like a logical way. Like they've been man. Yeah.
Big up Sway Way, man. In that guy, that rapper called Sway. Is it Sway, innit? The rapper.
Sway Lee.
Sway, yeah. No, it's another Sway. But big up Gary Neville was gaslighting the fan base by interviewing that bald egg. Watch these idiots fail for the PR stunt. That's where, for me, my head's at, man. Is that a lot of people today were just like, you know what, man? You know what, guys, man? Let's just give him one more year. That interview's changed my mind. And this is a problem. And it was the same the other night with Jadon Sancho. The amount of people that were like, you know what? Was Jadon Sancho really the problem? Like this United fan base, let me tell you something, man. Like, they're so easily influenced and so easily swayed away. It's like, broski, like, have the same energy. I've kept the same energy. You know what I mean? So have the same energy. You know, if you don't rate Sancho, cool. You know, I'm not going to tell you to rate Sancho, but you fought one game of football and Jadon Sancho's at Man United's level. Come on, man. And now one interview, you think Ten Hag is back. Come on, man. What are you doing to yourselves, man? Come on, man.
People asking if Sancho should be in the England squad after that game is fucking crazy.
But the thing is, right, like, you know, this idea that you are judging it on one game when reality is, for me, I've always thought Jadon Sancho was a good footballer. But then all of a sudden you see the one Champions League night and you then now going back on your point thinking, was Ten Hag the problem?
Yeah.
But beforehand, before you didn't watch him, you were like, nah, Sancho's the problem. And the same way with now, before the interview, this is why interviews, are very, you have to detach the sentiment. You have to watch the interview for what it is. Yeah, but problem people is everybody's getting caught by the PR, the sentiment, and by words about injuries. When you use the word injuries and you're talking about things that are out of your control, and then everyone starts to say, you know what? I feel sorry for him, and everyone just gets sucked in, man. I'm like, come on, man. Let's keep it real.
The problem is, Saeed, we know, we all know, like yourself, I've worked in radio, worked in media. We know how these things work. So they know Sky hand over a list of questions. United be like, no, yeah. You can say, it's all fake. Everything is fake and scripted. So it portrays the person in the best light. They're never going to let anything real through or anything that's probably going to challenge them because they can't afford to look bad. And it's no coincidence that as soon as they've kicked out these Glazer bloody apologists, all of a sudden are doing INEOS are allowing access to the manager for another interview and all that. Like, again, it's all just to drum up and make them look good. That's all they care about. It's nothing about progressing or moving or asking the challenging questions, answering the tough questions, giving us real insight onto why the season is. I didn't learn anything about why our season's gone wrong. I didn't watch that and think, shit, Ten Hag really has had it tough, Ten Hag really has faced struggles. I come away thinking, you just talk shit. You just talk utter shit. And that's all I ever think when I hear him speak. Like, I've got the Everton game on here, the Luton Everton game, and just watching the Luton manager talk, I'm not hearing what he's saying. But, his enthusiasm, his charisma, the way he holds himself, like, he's got the journalists or the reporters eating out of his hand. He looks engaged. He looks funny. He's cracking jokes, smiling. You'd never get that from Ten Hag. He looks there. He don't want to be there. He's sat back. He's sort of can't wait to get out of something, like biting back a bit. He just doesn't hold. He doesn't come across or anything. And I said what I started at the start of the show. I can't warm to him. He's not someone who'll look at and think you would inspire me. If you was my manager and I was hearing you talk, you get me inspired that I think Manchester United are going to be great. You're fucking boring.
No, 100%. Big up Bonte Sings and let's change mood. Our front three next season: Sancho, Greenwood, Olise, with Garnacho, Rasmus, Ahmad as backup. Sell Rashford, Anthony, Palestri. Total spend 60 million. Listen, we're going to talk about Sancho in a minute because he apparently doesn't want to come back, and Greenwood is going to get sold, my friend Monty. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about Olise as well. But guys, 1.2k in the building, and we've not even got 500 likes, guys. I don't know what's going on with everyone, but guys, if you could hit the like button, please, that would be amazing. It's a thumbs up button. It helps the channel massively. And yeah, man, please support the channel. Let's talk on the two managers. So apparently, there's an update on the two managers. So De Zerbi is going to be out of the running, I believe. He is apparently wanting to stay. He goes, I would like to stay at Brighton because I love my players, the city, my club, and my fans. I already told the fans in the meeting that if I'm happy, I'm not going to change this club. I want to keep my passion. And then the other news that came out shortly before was from the Times, which, to be fair to you, they're quite linked with INEOS, to be honest with you. They were the ones that were driving up their PR this summer. And basically saying Thomas Tuchel is on the list of managers under consideration at Man United should the club decide to part company with Eric Ten Hag. So Eric Ten Hag, it's going to be the front runner, man, Tuchel. I want to ask everyone a question, yeah? I can't lie. If you told me this question about 2 months ago, I would have said I'd rather keep Ten Hag than bring in Tuchel. But the way that the market's gone, the way that situations have arrived, De Zerbi's out of the question. Obviously, he looks like I'm not saying he's out of the question, yeah. Hansi Flick doesn't look like he's going to United. I don't think, who else is out there? Simone Inzaghi is going to probably say, there's not going to be anyone else out there really, particularly. It's Tuchel or nothing. Is everybody happy with that? Let me bring in Kaz as well. Kaz is in the building.
But why does it have to be Tuchel or nothing? We got. No,
but it is though. Let's be honest.
No. But hold on. But we got Ten Hag. We got Ten Hag out of a job. Why can't we go and flex a bit? I'd take 10 million off our summer budget if it meant we went and paid a release clause for a manager that we wanted. Why can't we get out of a job? Well, obviously it's never going to happen.
There's a list though. They're saying there's a list, so there must be.
There's a list, of course. There's a list.
I'd take a chance on Amorim. people say there's
Amorim.
murky going on, but I take a chance on him. I take a chance on Motta. I take a chance on it. You're never going to get Inzaghi out, but go and get Inzaghi. There's managers out there you can go and get. If you really want them, flex your muscle, you're Manchester United, go and do it. We shouldn't be waiting like bargain bins like, fucking Tuchel or Hansi Flick, waiting for people to be out of jobs. I'm happy De Zerbi's not happening. For me, I think it's the case of looking at this season. I said to you earlier on, if he was doing what he's doing at Brighton at Manchester United now, he'd be hounded out of the club. And I don't think he's going to get any better. I think the Manchester United job would swallow him like most fucking managers have had when they've come here.
Whoa. I agree with you. All right. Everything but the swallowing part, that part.
All right, yeah. Okay. There's always one slips by. Do you know what I'm saying?
By the way, sorry for being late. I thought it was 10:30, not 9:30. So it's Saeed's fault.
Nah, listen, big up.
Saeed's fault.
Hey, look, no accountability, just like his manager, Ten Hag. See what Ten Hag did to fan base.
Accountability, exactly, man.
I mean, to be fair, I'm ill, man. Like, I'm mad.
Oh, injuries. There you go. He's exactly Ten Hag. Just blamed it on injuries.
No, honestly, I've had 4 hours sleep. And I've still got a cold. If you live in England, you know that one day we just had mad warm weather, and then after all of a sudden we've got rain and cold. And tomorrow it's going to be warm again.
That we have the same thing here. I told Saeed,
I know, man. I'm dying.
It's the same thing here. It's the same
but I'm bored, and I'm bored of. I thought, you know what? Let me just switch on Saeed TV, yeah. And I thought, let me hear a bit of a debate. And all of you are agreeing with each other. You lot have bored me, so I come on to flip the switch. Now we all know why Double A wants Amorim and George, just because he got a bit of VO5 and a bit of hair. Obviously, he wants him in, thinking, he's got the aura for Man United. Man don't even know what manager he wants. That's horrible.
Who don't know what manager I want? I'll give you 3 options.
He didn't. You stuttering just about 3 minutes ago. You didn't even know what you want. Let's just go get a manager out of their contract.
I'll give you 3 names.
Word to Deji.
Who? What? Where? When? I said Inzaghi, Motta, and I said Amorim. 3 managers.
He did say that. To be fair, he did say that.
Right, to be fair,
hush down. Come in here trying to give it the big shit.
Okay, so you're talking about another VO5. You want another VO5 merchant? Just another hippie. So, anyways,
trying to give it.
Anyways, what's the point? What's
your point?
Hey, mate, is your do-rag too tight? Fuck off.
What's your point?
No, listen, Kaz, relax.
That's all right.
Hey, this guy doesn't have waves or that. He's wearing a
You just woke up, man. You're feeling groggy. Listen, relax. Yeah.
This guy's got do-rag for nothing.
My thing is, let's have a civil debate. Let's have a civil debate. My thing is, everybody wants their own manager, but I'm saying we have to now be realistic. Yeah, everything we have to be realistic. I don't know. Maybe I'm not being ambitious enough, but I can't lie. That Tuchel over nothing is better than something. Yeah. You know when they say in life, beggars can't be choosers. I think it's got to that situation where beggars can't be choosers. If it is Tuchel, then it looks to be Tuchel. If it isn't, then we are going to be stuck with Eric Ten Hag for the rest of the next campaign. And which is the better evil? Which is the better kind of, let's be honest, guys. Which is, let's be honest.
Can I ask you a question quick? Do you lot like, other than Double A a little bit, because obviously it's do-rags on too tight, do you lot like,
bro, sitting there with them headphones squeezing your head looking like a fucking balloon? Chill the fuck out, bro.
Can we chill? Yo, Kaz, what's going on, bro? Kaz, relax, man. Yo, Kaz, relax, bro.
Have you got Millie Nagy in the building? What's going on? What's it called?
Kaz, chill, relax. We're having a civil debate here.
By the way,
relax, man.
Nah, it's all right. It's only Double A, man. Like, it's not like I don't know him or nothing. People in the comments are funny. This is normal.
Yeah, guys, smash the likes on the video, man.
This is normal. Like, I'll go case with this guy. Come on, I know where he sits.
Go on. What's your question?
Do you lot back INEOS? Like,
yes,
honestly,
for now.
Do you lot back INEOS?
No.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we back INEOS for now. Do we like people who know when they're wrong in situations? Like they can give up. Like, you know what? I got this wrong.
Yeah.
So
accountability.
In my mind, if INEOS wants to go and back Ten Hag, then we're still going to go to Old Trafford and watch the games. We're still going to go there and back the team. And I'm just saying, if you want to back INEOS and they think this is the best manager for now, then we have to go and give maybe that's blind support in a way. But Double A said something kind of clear saying you like the idea of Ten Hag and not the reality. At this moment of time, you want to get possession football and everything like that, and that's kind of clear. And I don't think it's the same football we're going to see. He's already admitted that he's got maybe 2 out of 4 windows wrong, right? And he's been asked. Have you not noticed that he's been asked about the Ajax way quite a lot? So if INEOS wants to, so if INEOS wants to go and get rid of most of the squad, which we don't like, by the way, none of us like this squad, and they want to go get a new bunch of players and actually start from a brand, what's the point of Tuchel if they're kind of the same person anyways when it comes to man management and stuff? But we just want the shiny new toy, don't we? Because really and truly, we can only punt on what we want with no one really proven. So it's the same kind of thing, but maybe we just want something fresh because of the man management that we've already seen all season. Because it's true, his management is under massive question. But I think a lot of managers will be under massive question. Tuchel, if you want Tuchel, you have to expect the same kind of things. But at least there's a club to deal with it. So I'm just saying, if INEOS wants him, why?
No, but listen, that's what I'm saying. I don't mind if INEOS want their next manager. I'm happy with that. I don't think that's the question here for me. I think the question is if they keep Erik Ten Hag, they will lose a lot of the fan base's confidence. They will. Unfortunately, they will. You know, because they're basically enabling a guy who's not been good at his job for the past 18 months to a year, you know, that, you know, let's be honest, it's been it could be one of the worst performing managers post Fergie. To allow him to continue without Champions League football, without anything that they could improve on, and then say, you know what, he's gonna drastically improve. I think that's where the question lies. I don't think anybody has a kind of a you know, if they want to pick their first manager in charge, by all means, you can get it wrong. You can get it wrong. You see what I mean, Mandem? They can get it wrong.
There's no way they're keeping Ten Hag, man. I can't see it. They've made, do you know what? They've made too many steps in certain directions that Ten Hag appointment or keeping him, unless they've got like a long-term plan, like, okay, cool, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep him till January, and then this is how we're going to work it out. Boom, boom, boom. Even though I can't see any logic in that, except for money. There must be, bruv, Omar Barada and these guys talking about 1 to 2 years players need to perform in that. Bruv, the manager's going to be captaining the ship. There's no way. There's no way. He's going to be out, or they're going to have a transition, a way of transitioning him out later on. That's what I think. Logically, that's what I think still. Honestly, man.
I just think they made too many changes to not change this one as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Like, you came in and you just cleaned the whole house. How come this one stays? Like, we understand you can't get rid of players as quickly as you can get rid of individuals in the board or in other positions or a manager, because it's one individual versus a whole squad. But how come this is the one where they're going to sit there and be like, yeah, we actually couldn't find another manager? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that saying, because Cass was saying something about Tuchel and Ten Hag, I completely disagree. Excuse me. Refusing to change the manager because you think the other manager is just like the same thing, I think that's just a lazy approach of them to not change it. And I'll tell you why they would change it. Because when something doesn't work, it doesn't mean you give up. You still gotta find a way to get it to work. And this just happens in every aspect in life, not just management. When you just hit a dead wall and you can't it's not working, your job at the end of the day is to find a solution. I don't know if this is the right solution, but I know that not trying to change it actually won't fix it. If you keep changing it, maybe you will fix it. Obviously, you want a calculated fix or a calculated change so you can get the correct fix. But I already know if the manager stays, it's not gonna fix. So what's the point of me keeping him? And to say that Tuchel is the same thing as Ten Hag, that's a massive disrespect to Tuchel. Because I think Tuchel as a manager, yes, really, and I'll tell you why. First of all, he's a Champions League winner. This guy's not, so let's just respect that fact. And Tuchel has proved more than once. And by the way, I've given Tuchel a lot of slander over the years. There's probably not a manager I flip-flopped on more than Tuchel in my life, because I always feel like he's good, then he's shit, then he's good, then he's shit. But one thing he has proven to me, that he is a tactician, and he showed it to me in Dortmund, in Chelsea, in PSG, and in Bayern. And to be fair, a few people made a few good points about him this season, because I was calling him trash for not winning the league. And someone told me they have about the same amount of points, if not more, than last season. But the reality is they went against an invincible team, which is an anomaly. So the fact that they're not winning the league is down to the other opponent just being absurd. Like what Leverkusen are doing this season is just out of the norm. It doesn't happen. It's once in a lifetime thing. But we look at what he's doing in the Champions League. Madrid, Arsenal last game. He's shown so much tactical adaptability over the years in this season. So to compare him to Ten Hag, is he the best option out there? He probably wouldn't be my number one. But to say he's the same thing as Ten Hag hasn't shown me anything at all. The guy got Eric Dyer bowling out for him. The fact that you can sign Dyer and he bowls out for you in the Champions League, and we have this manager just making everyone look like bums, it's incomparable in my opinion.
Yeah, it's mad, but it's the same thing. But let's not forget, we saw Ten Hag get the best out of Wan-Bissaka at one point. Somehow he started dribbling. Like we saw some of these bums start playing a lot of football. And let's not act like we weren't all celebrating last year. Me and Double A were doing loads of flipping fan cams after every game. We was up in Saeed's show and all this kind of stuff after games and stuff like that. We was all there. Like, don't get me wrong, the same thing in terms of, I don't think it's about the tactics. I think whoever comes in, I think tactics are relatively the same. He likes to build up in a 3-1-6, just like what Ten Hag wants to do. But this time out, he has his wingers inverted more, and he has his fullbacks pretty high. So it's just, and you have to work out what to do at the very end. He wants the same kind of striker, like so the hold up, the Harry Kanes and stuff like that. So he's going to have Højlund doing the exact same thing. When I say the same thing, I meant in man management. Because when it comes to egos, what are Man United? When we always think of Man United in a successful period about back then. What did we have everywhere in the dressing room? Egos. I don't know if Tuchel can handle egos.
He managed Neymar and Mbappe, bro.
Neymar and Mbappe, yeah.
Barely went that well, did it? Because he got him so out of a job. But I'm just saying this, like, I'm just saying this. Mbappe was I don't know what you're going to get with Mbappe sometimes, you know. He gets his own way. He's Mr. PSG. But I think they're kind of in the same entities. Basically, we're not going to see much difference on the man management side. It's just this time he might have a fresh squad. Like I said, do we just want a shiny new toy for the sake of a shiny new toy? Or are we going to back the new process with,
I think, tactically, though,
stuff like that?
Tuchel is better than Ten Hag tactically.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Yeah. Don't you think his instructions get integrated better? The players understand more. They seem to anyway. They seem to understand what he wants more than what Ten Hag tries to get out of his players. Or am I wrong? I don't know. That's what it seems like to me. Because when you're looking at Bayern, they haven't been great, but you still, obviously people like Sane, they're quality ballers, but they're still following certain instructions that must be under Tuchel. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I think for me, it's one of them where we just got to, you know what I mean? We got to hope that INEOS come out with a plan. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing, man. And like I said, they don't buy into the sentiment of the fans. They are thinking about the whole season. They're gathering a report and they execute it. That's the main thing. They execute this right now. So let's see, man. Let's see. Let's move on to the Bruno Fernandes kind of links to Barcelona. I don't know if anyone believes into it much here, but you know, is there a world where United do end up selling Bruno Fernandes to Barcelona, or just in general as a kind of maybe a sale that they want to make? You know, there was reports this week that, you know, they were looking to offload a lot of key players here. I don't personally see this. I think this is a crazy story that someone's put out there, that Barcelona are willing to go and get Bruno Fernandes. But I start with you, Ash, man. Like, Bruno Fernandes, you see him ever getting sold? You think he's just a staple? What do you think of his interview as well? Because it was a bit like cryptic, his interview, man. Yeah,
his interview was cryptic. It didn't offer much, really. One of those where he's going to be with a club for the next couple of years. The only way I see him leaving is, and you never see it in football, is a swap deal. Like, there's been talk of Frankie being on too much wages over there at Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? You know, Ten Hag's been wanting Frankie for a little while now. If they somehow can manoeuvre something there, because Barca haven't got the funds, they haven't got the money, so there's potentially something there to be done. But again, swap deals don't happen in football. It's so rare. I can't see a future without Bruno Fernandes. That doesn't mean to say that he deserves to be in the team and he deserves to be playing consistently. I think he needs a break more than anything. I think the amount of games he's been playing, I don't know. I feel like it's just getting to that start that part of the season now where all the rumours start to build and start to come out. And we've not heard anything about players leaving Manchester United. Barcelona, I don't think they've got any money. You know, I don't think they're going to be coming in with cash offers. So yeah, I think it's a non-starter, really. I mean, what Ten Hag wants to do. And Ten Hag, the thing that frustrates me with Ten Hag is Ten Hag's backed Bruno. You can see that evidently with him giving the captaincy. You know, that's the clearest indication that that's his man. You know, he gives him the captaincy. He's my guy. Do you know what I mean? So, I just can't see it. I can't see him going forward. It's interesting at Castro. I mean, he's bought fully into the PR of the interview today. Do you know what I mean? He's fully on that today on the PR. So Ten Hag. I'd take Tuchel all day. I'd take Tuchel all day. Yeah, an improvement. You see when he took over Dortmund, they were languishing in like 7th, struggling. You know, got him back into Champions League, got him playing. Same with PSG, same with Chelsea. You know, it's one of those where he gets managers, he gets the teams back on track. And I feel like maybe he's not a long-term solution, but then in football there is no long-term solutions. You've seen with Barca with 5 managers, 5 seasons, buying 10 managers in 10 seasons. So I'd like Tuchel. I think Ten Hag's had 2 seasons now. He's had 400 million to spend. What more? What are we yet to see from Ten Hag that he's going to bring and he's going to add to this team and add to these players? So, not for me. And Bruno's pretty much maybe gets a little bit refreshed with a better manager. Who knows? But I don't know. I feel like we've seen the best out of Bruno. We can see him. Maybe if we can cash in.
I'd rather sell a year early than a year too late. And this is
what I'm saying.
To cash in on him. He's been here for 4.5 years now, 5, something like that. I don't remember. This is the time to cash in because you don't know where he's going to go next season. I already think he's dropped some of his physical attributes just due to age and the fact that this guy just plays every game. He never gets injured, but that's not really saying anything because he's playing too many games. And someone with his body where he's not really, he doesn't have a lot of muscle mass, which is why he doesn't even get that many injuries. You can already see that his game is going to drop soon, you know, because that's too many miles in his legs. And I'd rather sell him while he's still on his feet before he starts becoming injury prone, before he drops a bit of his attributes going to next season. Especially if you get a chance. I'm not saying I believe it, but let's just go with the story that it's true. When are you ever really going to get a chance to cash in on Bruno and at the same time pick up a player who, let's just be honest, is arguably the best player in the world in what he does? And what Frankie de Jong does, which is take that ball from the first third to the final third, he's probably the best player in the world in doing that. So when are you ever going to get the chance to get something like that? And listen, if they're going to rebuild anyways, and they wanted to sign a new 10, or let's say they want to play like a midfield 3 with like 2 8s and a 6, and they're going to go recruit for a 6 anyways, or maybe play Manu in the 6 and get another 8. We are changing our midfield. We are rebuilding our midfield. So why not sell now? If Casemiro is being linked to a sell, why is Bruno not being linked to a sell?
Facts.
Like, I think everyone should be open to sell. You remember the news that came out a few days ago saying there's only the 3 players that are not sellable?
Yeah.
I agree with it. Maybe some of the 3 should be sellable too, but I agree with the idea that all these players are sellable. And if you do get a tempting offer, I'd butt your hand off for a Frankie de Jong. Because I didn't want him in the beginning of the season when we talked about him. Remember, Saeed, we had the news and I was like, I don't want him based on the midfield that we have now. But if we're restructuring the midfield, I'll start with him and Manu and then add a third, depending on what profile we need. So the answer should always be yes. I actually think it's too crazy that this offer is even being made. But by the way, he's not. Frankie de Jong is not really appreciated by his fans. His fans, a lot of Barcelona fans don't like him. They kind of speak about him and what he does on the pitch the same way we talk about Bruno and what he does on the pitch, because they complain about his lack of defensive physicality on the pitch. They always say that he's lazy and doesn't track back and all that stuff. So he actually gets a lot of criticism. So I know we all glorify Frankie de Jong as outsiders.
Yeah, he does get a lot of criticism, you know.
Within his fan base, he's not actually that loved. I just wanted to let you know that. So it's not like
I know.
He's not untouchable when it comes to his status at the team.
I think the Barca fans are quite happy for him to go, weren't they, when he was linked a couple of seasons?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. One of my friends is a Barca fan, and he sent me a whole monologue on why he doesn't want him.
If there's a deal to be done where we can get him for Bruno, we snap the hand off all day long. I agree with what Faz is saying there. No, barring Manu, pretend at a stretch, Martinez, I'd sell every single player we have at the club. There's no player I'd keep.
Bro, there's no one. Yeah, facts, man.
By the way, someone in the comments said he's a ball carrying merchant. Imagine calling a ball carrier a merchant.
Yo, that's like, crazy.
If it was that easy, please tell me why we have like almost none of them in our team.
None.
Yeah.
Ball carrying merchant is
Ten Hag's got no excuses then as well. Ten Hag's got no excuses. Excuses are gone then, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know what it is though. I think it comes down to what people want to see, because, like I said, we don't know what the football is going to be played next season. You know what I mean? If it's possession based, I can't, for me, see Bruno Fernandes still being in this team, man. I'll be real with you, man. Like what Ten Hag said as well today, he said something about players' qualities and he can't change them. A manager would have came in and said, yo, listen, Bruno Fernandes, bro, if you can't play this type of football, then for me,
bro, Saeed, sorry to cut you off. Look did you see what Ange just said?
What happened?
He was talking about.
Big up Faz, by the way, in the comments, man. Big up everyone. Hail up Faz, man.
Free Faz, come on.
To find it. He's basically saying that how they need to do better. Basically, let me see. Yeah, look at something like it's just similar to what you're just saying.
Yeah, let me read it.
Change has to happen. I've got to change the squad. I've got to build a squad that I think can play our football. For that to happen, there have to be exits. We're going to play and train a certain way. That's not for everyone. Yo, facts. You see that?
That's a real manager, guys. Oh my god.
Accountability.
That's mad. Trust me.
Accountability. You get me? Name and shape, bro. Why this idea that he can't say that players can't play the football? Get out of here, man. Why not? If you want fans to trust you, I want you to tell me that players are going to be leaving. Yeah,
you know what I said? This puts pressure, though. This puts pressure on the board because he's saying I need certain players, and this puts pressure on the board. And this is what we need. We have too many managers that are scared to speak out. The last one who's done that was probably Mourinho, and that's the issue, bro. Just speak out. Be like, if I want to play this style of football, I need an overhaul. And this guy's not saying it. Actually, the last one that said it was Ranić. And Ranić, we know what happened. They effed him off right away.
Yep.
So it's, bro, big up to Ange, bro. I wish we had Ange. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, fuck.
Nah, bro, man. This is what you want to see, though, man. This is what you want to hear. This is all I'm asking for you. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, you're gonna have to play my way. He said, you know what? I'm not gonna do the way of I'm gonna protect certain players. I'm gonna make sure bro, come on, man. Are you mad? Are you mad, bro? And listen, I'm not saying it's going to work out for Angie. I'm not saying it's going to work out for him. I'm just saying, yo, listen, a lot of fans are going to be like, yo, cool now. I'm cool with that. You feel me? But,
and I think Ten Hag stopped doing that because Ten Hag used to be like, we need to be better. We need to work on this. He used to kind of say that a little bit. Not as harsh, but he don't say it no more. It's all gone. And I know some people are flip-flopping between how honest we want managers to be, but I just think as long as there's a reasonable balance and we believe in what they're saying and there's respect there, it doesn't matter. You just go with it because you respect them. You believe in the vision, the direction. So that's what it is for me still, man.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. What did you man think of the what are you laughing at?
No. I was just schooling Cass on some stuff.
Okay. We man.
And before you continue, I got
big up, bro. Big up Staffy. Make sure you follow up Staffy TV. Big up Staffy. Always love, man.
I'll see you guys on the next stream.
What you man saying about the Olise links? There's been some Olise links.
I'll take it.
Apparently, it could be genuine, man. Olise at Man United.
So we need to move players before we get him, though. Surely, like,
bro,
we're just stockpiling players that play out wide.
Yeah.
So Pellistri.
How much is it going to cost?
Sancho's
going to cost
60 million. Release cost about 60 million. Oh, he hasn't actually got a release cost. Actually, the release cost is gone now. It's just literally 60 million. You're gonna have to pay for him. So Sancho will probably leave because he said he doesn't want to be here anymore. Greenwood's gonna leave. You got Pellistri probably gonna leave. I think Ahmad's gonna leave, bro. I'll be real with you.
Well, you got the inside scoop. Have you not been chatting to him?
Well, I think so. I think for me, I think he'll probably leave. That's my own opinion because I just don't think he'll realize that. He'll leave. I'll probably go out alone. Probably a loan kind of signing first, and then go from there. But yeah, man, I don't see it, man. I don't see it, bro. 75 million release cost.
Apparently, according to Goldfish, apparently it's closer to 50 than 60. That's all I can go off of.
Bro,
that's all we know. We know it's a bit of a waffle, but he does have his links, I suppose, when it's useful. But Bruno Fernandes, why would he go to Barcelona when Xavi says, why would you treat a football like a grenade? That makes no sense. Do you get what I mean? It's like they're struggling to get 50 million release clause for Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I can say is inshallah, innit? Just get him out. Get him out. Hey, Saeed, you think I want to go into your sit next to you or sit next to Double A in two good seats and watch that grenade go off time after again? We've been seeing it for like 4 years. I can't be bothered for that no more. I think Shabby would hate Bruno Fernandes, but Sancho for 50 million is criminal, isn't it?
That's what I was going to ask yourselves, like. But then again, I think for me that's probably about right, you know, when you deep it, because at the end of the day, has he got
24 though?
Hey?
He's 24, that talent there. Do you know what I mean? To be the best player in the football field with Mbappe and Dembele.
I think 50 million is about right, you know. I'll be real with you. I think 50 million is about right.
We don't get that for him.
And we're not going to get that. Whether INEOS or not, we're going to get 30 million
30,
plus installments. 40 max.
That's if he scores a hat-trick in the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, there you go. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think you're going to get more than... Probably going to get close to 40 million rather than 50 million. I'm being truly honest with you.
But any of you see a world where he comes back at all?
No,
not on this manager.
We've got a different manager.
But the thing is, there was like, and it happened with Greenwood as well. There was stories to say, like, where INEOS are in, they're gonna take stock of it and make new decisions. So, did they get him back and try and? Because let's be honest, sitting down with Mercer and Arnold to try and diffuse the situation probably would have pissed you off even more because we were two idiots. Are they going to do it in a different way? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But I wouldn't rule anything out.
Do you think
if the value's not there to sell him, they keep him surely, right? You don't send him out alone again.
Don't you think the Greenwood stuff is to say that we might keep him so his value is a bit more retained and
potentially? I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't see INEOS keeping either or. Anyways, there's a new regime. Yeah. You don't want Greenwood and all that suffering around it. Now he's getting the Liga team of the season, all this kind of stuff. So that's one part of it all. And then you got the Sancho part. He's on 300 grand a week. INEOS are about cut costs right now. It's all about cutting costs and cutting anything they can so they can do better for the football club. That's why I don't see Sancho staying either personally, because it's the wage thing. If he was on lower wages, I think it'd be a bit of a different story. 50 million is criminal in my opinion. We need to make sure if we got really good owners or good new negotiators, really and truly, we should be asking for them for more installments. They said Dortmund.
I think we'll get more than
expensive. That. They're saying they might want him on loan again for a season, but with an obligation to buy, maybe to fess up a lot of money because they know he's the guy for them, anyways. So I think 50 million is too low. We need to get way more, in my opinion. 60 million. At least get most of our money back. We have to get most of it back, unfortunately. And you know what? He's probably going to go on to have a great career somewhere else other than Dortmund. It's just not at United.
And we've seen that far too often. These young players, good talents coming and dying here. He's just another one that's gone under the wheels of the Manchester United bus that kills careers, sadly. But we have to hope this INEOS, Barada, and all these can work the market a lot better than we've seen so far. Because United has to start getting some money back for players. Because obviously, you're looking at Fernandes now. That probably option is going to get triggered. 6 million for him is a joke. I'm not saying he's worth massive amounts, but a lot more than 6. It's not even pounds, is it? It's euros. It's just a joke of what we've seen in the transfer market for the past, I'd say 20 years. We've not been great, have we? How in the last, I'm sure there's a stat going around, last 20 years, Dan James is the highest we've made from a player.
Yeah, Dan James, Dan James is the highest kind of figure we've made.
And you think of some of the players that have left, ridiculous.
But you know what it is, though, because our contract situation, that's the problem. We've let the contracts run down. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously waited, and then obviously we barely got any value from them. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You know, now this is why, you know what I mean, we've got to look towards. But the problem is McTominay. What's his value? Like, does anybody want a McTominay now? Like last summer was probably the best summer.
I think this season is because his stock's probably never been higher. The way he's become a match winner for Manchester United, an important piece of the cog. Obviously,
but does he want to go down a level? Like, are we going to say McTominay and Maguire are willing to go now down a level to leave Manchester United? This Maguire was not willing to leave. Same way with McTominay, they weren't willing to leave and say, "Yo, I want to leave." You feel me? They won the lottery, so that's why I'm like, "Yo, like, are they willing to leave?" They've also got to leave as well. You know, like it's not just a case of bounce in it. Your contract's done. Like Martial's contract is done. He has to go. You know, these guys.
You have a word with Kieran McKenna at Ipswich as he's coming up. Do you know what I mean?
Seriously,
they're one of the promoted teams. That's what you do. I mean, Leeds were in that situation. You know, Leeds come up. they throw the money about, you know. So you're looking at one of them potentially. Maybe I don't think he goes down, but I mean, West Ham new manager, they're talking about. But I feel like McTominay will want to play. He'll want to start to play a little bit more now, and you'll see with him as his career progresses that he's going to want to be. You see him on the football field. We see him there at Old Trafford. He loves it. He loves being the star. He loves being like a main guy who's scoring goals and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like he'll thrive in that role in another club, in a mid-table club or bottom half team, and he'll go there and do a job. And I feel like it's probably getting to a time now where he needs to be leaving Manchester United for his own career. I mean, because there's no future at Old Trafford, is there? Let's be honest. He's got no future here.
He's 27, isn't he? And you think what we need, Ash, is for him to have a sick Euros. Even if Scotland don't get out of the groups, for him to perform in the 3 games that he plays. And then I think he's got to be there buzzing in that environment thinking, I'm a starter, I'm the go-to guy for this. Why can't I have that at club level? And that's what we have to hope he sees in himself. Because again, like you say, getting to the peak of his career now, not 1 or 2 contracts left. Do you want to sit around and just be a bit part player?
Big up to Sway, where it's now saying INEOS won't hire footballing people just to end up with Chelsea leftovers. That makes 0 sense. Listen, I think for me, the main key element is getting a transfer plan this summer and properly doing it. Like, I think Olise is a very, very good player, but again, people are very, very curious about his injuries. I think the problem with the injuries right now, guys, is that everyone's got a risk. There's always a risk to every player. Especially with us. Yeah, especially with us. But also, if you want to go and get him, and you think he's a quality player, then the risk comes with the reward. Like, you have to go and just do it. If you don't,
are you not scared by English players though, Saeed? Like when we got an English kid come through that's done well for us, I mean, it just doesn't happen.
But he don't represent England though. He represents France, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but he's English lad, born in Hammersmith and that. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those. You get caught in the culture and stuff, and whereas you go abroad, you bring in a young Spanish lad, young Portuguese, young French, Italian, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's different. They focus on the football. You've seen what's happened there with Anthony Gordon leaving Liverpool, going to Newcastle. In a different environment. You've seen with Sancho going to Dortmund, different environment. It's one of those where I feel like, with spending 60 million, 60, 70 million, whatever it's going to cost for Olise, I feel like there's potential for others out there. Someone maybe like a Cube over Real Sociedad, someone who you could.
That's been linked with Liverpool heavily now, by the way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though, Kaz. There's other options out there. Do you know what I mean? You've got, Fiorentina, the right winger, the Argentinian.
His name just escaped me.
Nico something.
Nico Williams.
No.
That's Bilbao.
Nah, but there you go. But there's options. Out there. Like potentially have less risk than they do when they come to Manchester United. And it's not for me bringing in those English lads. We've seen with
Nico Gonzalez.
I've got a countermeasure to that slightly. Like we've seen Cole Palmer leave Manchester, go to London, having the time of his life. We've seen Gordon leave Everton, and now he's having the time of his life, right? We've got Anthony on the wing. We've had Ahmad on the wing. We've had all these players other than Rashford that are not really, other than Garnacho, and they're not really, and even Sancho to a degree, because he didn't. His adult football is in Germany. That's pretty much where he's gained all of it. They haven't worked out, so that's why you need Premier League proven experience, because our attack sucks differently. It sucks, and that is a risk. If you're not going to get rid of Rashford, then obviously you got a bit of Prem experience there, and we need to be playing attacking on the front foot. But I've had enough of these guys coming in and not doing nothing from abroad. Do you know what I mean? As well, at the same time, who said that Taki Kubo is going to have the minerals to have the physicality for the Prem? Nico Williams is probably the best shout for me, in my opinion, over there. I think he's wicked. That's that one that I reckon he can handle.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people say, I don't know. When I watch him, I'm still not convinced, man.
Left foot, right foot, left wing, right wing.
I don't know what something about him that I'm not. I think Olise is the one that for me convinces me, man.
Same.
Injuries not continue though.
It's only this year though, isn't it? To be fair, on his second injury, that was Roy Hodgson's fault. He rushed him back so quickly and made him play at the full 90 minutes off the bat, and he got it got him hurt again.
Could say the same again about Mount though, because Mount only had last season when he was really
injured. What's the point of bringing Olise if we don't have a new medical team?
Man. True. But for whatever we get, though, innit? You know what I mean? We gotta sort something out, man. Because for me, bro, it's looking peak right now. Ten Hag talent ID. You know what I mean?
My word. Kudos in. He's got a
Kudus,
release
yeah.
clause.
He's got a release clause, hasn't he?
Bro.
Got a release clause.
And he's also linked with Liverpool. Oh my god.
What was that? Yeah, no, listen, man. Everyone, listen. We're thinking that we're the only team that everyone's gonna go to, man. You got flipping Aston Villa, you got Newcastle that are gonna come back up. You know, Brighton, if they're gonna still keep, getting players. Like, bro, we're not that team that everybody's gonna go to, man. Like this idea that Ten Hag talked about we're in the Europa League next year, possibly. Teams want to come to Man United. Not everyone wants to come to Man United, Like, as much as we want them to, not everyone's gonna want to come. You know what I'm saying, bro? This idea that
players know we're a graveyard now. Players know you come to United,
bro.
you're gonna die. Your career's gonna be killed. Do you know what I mean? So players and managers and agents, they'll be aware that he show you what he's going to United. You've seen what's happened with the last 15 players that have gone there. Do you know what I mean? No one shines.
Bro,
So
Villa's probably a better option than us. Villa in the Champions League, looking great. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they got spanked last night, but they probably look like a more viable option or a better place to go to flourish than Manchester United is right now. And then INEOS have got it all to do to change that culture and that perception Manchester United has as a breeding ground for killing careers, which we have been for the last.
And then the last thing that come out, did Adam Crofton do it about thing he put Ratcliffe putting around an email about how disgusting the place is. Do you know how embarrassing that is? That's embarrassing.
Yeah, but what's not embarrassing, man? This is
that's for a top club. It's like that's just
from a 1-star health rating to having an email go around about how your place of work is dirty. Like even stopping the working from home because you don't believe people are being productive enough. It just shows. It's good that he's lifted the lid to show exactly how inept and just bad it's been at Manchester United for far too long. And you have to pray and hope that he's going to change all this now from top to bottom.
Yep. 100%. And nobody relevant to United for quite a long time. Standards are rock bottom. Big up to United Facts, says shout out from Amanda from Minnesota. Rhino C, bro. Ash, big up. Cash Double A, Saeed Magic. Big up, man. Listen, I don't know, man. People tell about Kim Min Jae, man. Listen, I don't know, man. I don't know if I got that one wrong, but listen.
One bad game, man. Come on.
One bad game, exactly. Everybody's just going mad, bro. One bad game.
Like Sancho had one good game. Kim Min Jae had one bad game.
Listen, man. Everybody relax, man.
No,
I
wouldn't have as well. I'll be the first one to say I wouldn't have in the summer.
Yeah.
When you're getting benched for Eric Dyer.
Well, Varane was getting benched.
Yeah, but you see what he did at Napoli. Look at Napoli now without him. Do you know what I mean? Napoli.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, the quality was there. The quality's there. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's that adjustment and getting it out of him. So
the thing is, people think that Kim's slow. He's not slow. Vinny's just fast.
Yeah, he's
like. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just not working out under Mike. Like sometimes it just don't work. It doesn't mean the player's crap. It just doesn't work out under certain managers and certain clubs. Do you know what I mean? But his box defending is a bit worrying, even though at Napoli his box defending was top notch. So it's a shame, really.
It's a shame. Yeah, of course it's a shame. You know what I mean? It's one of them where, end of the day, man. You know what I mean? We just have to just trust the judgment, innit? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We're not going to discuss the Crystal Palace game. We'll do that on the Sunday show, man. You know what I mean? For now, we'll just wrap it up here. Big up to everyone who's locked in, man. Guys, make sure you like the video, man. We've just passed 500 likes. If we get to 700, that would be amazing. So, guys, bottom right hand corner, hit the like button. Helps the channel massively. I'll be back tomorrow for the Arsenal watch along versus Bournemouth. And then probably gonna leave it as that, man. I'm not watching Man City. Absolute boring club. And then man, we move over to Sunday for more news, man. Big up Ash. Big up for coming on, man. Love for coming on as always.
Yeah, thanks for having us always, Saeed. Appreciating to the boys as well in the chat. Yeah, thanks for having us. We'll do it again on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Big up Double A as always, man. Big up, bro.
Yeah, big up for having us on. As always, best chat on YouTube. Keep it going. Make sure you're supporting all the boys. It's good to be with Cass. I've not been on the stream with Cass for time, mate. It's good to be back on. FCAA, go and check it out on YouTube. And yeah, man, have a good weekend. Hopefully, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Big up Rhino as well, man. Love for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Big up the chat, man. Big up the man, them as always, man. Listen, it's always love. I'm not active much on my channel, but yeah, make sure you check that out as well. Check out my artists as well. Lizzie, Mixtape
Come on.
Madness. Yeah, make sure you check that. I want to see some of you guys in the comments as well, man. If you
Come
want
on,
to take
man,
away
people.
yourself from football, see a fresh new UK artist, check it out, please, man. I'll even put
Come
the
on,
link
people,
in. I'll put
man.
the link still.
Yeah, put the link in. Put the link in, man. Big up to Lizzie, man, as well, man. And then Kaz, man, big up to you, man.
Big up, bad. Bit all. I just wanted to stir a little bit up with double A in it. Just
All
it's
good,
fun.
bro. It's all good. man.
It's all fun. You gotta have a different opinion. I don't know, man. Am I Ten Hag? Who knows? I might have flip flopped. Not
Hey.
flip flop. I don't know.
Flip-flop,
Man.
flip-flop.
I just,
You know
just
what I'm
need,
saying?
you know what though? If he ends on the FA Cup, fair enough. I'll forgive him. It's because I'm that bored. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, man, Vanguard, you know what I mean? It's one of them, man. It's one of them.
I know it is. Yeah, literally.
Guys, head over there, man. Make sure you say Saeed TV sent you. You get me? Hail up Lizzie right there. You feel me? And yeah, man, big up to you. I'll catch you tomorrow morning, people. Early. Listen, Arsenal got to do their job, man. We don't want them.
Arsenal must.
Manu
They
Kono
must.
in.
We must.
There you go. There you
Up
go.
the
We're out.
Arsenal.
Peace, peace.